Welcome back, everyone, to the Xpand podcast. This is your host, Zarin Beatty, and I am doing my second and third podcast of the day here in Austin, Texas right now with two beautiful human beings. They drove an hour and a half just to be here right now. We got Stephen Samadhi and Matt Xian.
Thanks for being here with us.
Stephen, first of all, everybody here, these two people really do mean a lot to me. And Stephen, your energy, man, it literally is one of the purest form of energy I've ever experienced. And that is no joke.
Wow. You just, my heart right now, it's like a hummingbird who's been freed from a cage and it just took off. That's what you're doing to me right now. You're getting this lit up, my brother.
You are so uniquely yourself that it really, dude, it's fucking crazy knowing you. It is. And 4 minutes ago, you can get loud. You can be a loud human. And it's and I accept it. It's crazy. I welcome it.
You accept me.
I accept you.
In the
man.
pack. I'm not a lone wolf anymore.
You're not alone.
Howling in the ditch.
So
you found me.
You, my friend, have been working on a lot. You've been producing more music. You've been doing Kundalini for how long?
Kundalini, it's coming up on 3 years now of teaching Kundalini yoga. Got certified actually down the road here in Austin at Yoga. Beautiful, beautiful school, beautiful teachers, beautiful energy. Really grateful that I'm able to do it and that we can come together with what you do.
Yeah, we a lot of people may not know this, but Stephen and I actually hosted a workshop in Boise, Idaho several months back, and it involved breathing, martial arts, and Kundalini yoga. And the feedback that we received from the workshop was out of this world, man. It was off the charts. And a lot of that has to do with like the beautiful combination of breathing in what you do and breathing through martial arts and learning how to actually bridge the body and the mind through a similar construct, which is, mindful breathing in a sense, or how we even emphasize when we exhale and how we inhale and everything.
It's crazy the fusion that we found by starting the 4-hour workshop with the 2 hours of breathing, meditating, waking up the body. And that awareness is so true, outside of even martial arts, any kind of sport, any kind of work task, creative task, everybody's breathing, but we all can get tuned up with the mindfulness. So it's exciting. If you want to tell them kind of your background as far as breath work and stuff, because I remember when I first met you, we introduced Wim Hof to you, Breath of Fire, and you were like, shot off. Like it was a nighttime session too at that park.
It was. That was so I've been doing Wim Hof for years before that, but that was my very first Kundalini yoga session.
Okay, we had added it in.
Yep. You incorporated it so well, and that's what really drew me into working with you, because you incorporated something that I've experienced many times and you put into a brand new moment and produced a completely different experience. And that to me, being someone who has been in fitness and health for over a decade now, to watch you both. Something like that. To watch you both efficiently build something brand new and create a real experience is definitely something worth sharing with people. And everybody freaking loved it. Everybody loved it. I'm sure you heard all about it. And we kept getting feedback for weeks afterwards, man. When we can help people bring their attention back to the breath, it's amazing what it does for mental health.
Yeah, just getting outside of your mind, getting out of that comparison thing. And I think a lot of the times I like to be funny is because I don't like to get down into the nasty side of life where you're locked in your mind, comparing yourself to others. What do I not have? oh, I'm just going to sleep an extra hour longer because, I mean, I don't want to get up right now. I'll just put off what I need to do. And it's just crazy because we all fall into that little like ups and downs, you know what I mean? And it goes back to, I think, sleeping and just being in touch with the body, you know what I mean? Because if you're out of whack with the sleep, you're just not going to be starting off the day strong. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to do as much. But I feel like the whole workshop that we curated helps you get out of that vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get up. You might not necessarily say, oh, I want to be a Taekwondo master because I took this workshop, or I'm going to go into yoga super heavy, but it's just about finding your creative flow. And I learned a lot from you about flow states, you know what I mean? Because you're so well into the martial arts, and it's like you have to be fully synced up so you can do the best that you can, not injure yourself, and grow, you know what I mean, in your mobility.
100%. And even a step further, it's not injure yourself and injure your partner, you know, to like spar in a safe manner. You have to have a very different level of control and know that you can build speed and explosiveness, but just pull it back just enough to not do damage to the other person. And that goes so deep into body awareness. And I feel like with everything that we've all experienced, Kundalini and breathing, it builds a deeper sense of body awareness.
Oh,
and
yeah, totally.
It's insane. What do you feel like Kundalini and music relate?
I knew he was coming in. I knew it. Kundalini for me, honestly, has been like the biggest creative surge ever. I feel like each year that I get more into my own practice, the more creative projects that I'm starting and finishing and actually having fun with and being in the moment. It's not like a chore, you know what I mean? It's not a drag. It's just like instant creativity when you're in that flow state. And oh man, yeah, the music, I started February 3rd, 2017. So it's been about a year and a half. No, wait, no, it's been, no, it's, oh my God, it's only been 13 months. It's been almost 14 months.
Dang, that's
I thought
it?
it was been a year and a half for some reason, but that was the very first thing. Like I got into the studio, and of course I've been practicing yoga on my own time for probably about 7 years. So I just feel like all these experiences I've had, you know what I mean? I just had to like talk about it. So yeah, absolutely goes hand in hand. Stephen Samadhi is my music, and you can find it on SoundCloud. You can go on YouTube. There's an Instagram page. But I'm rapping about Kundalini yoga, custom vegan plates. You know it's good. See me out here. All the stuff. How did you hear about my first stuff? Like, did I send it to you, or did Matt send it to you? My very first stuff, because I remember it was like, yo, bro.
I think Matt shared it with me.
Okay.
And so I know for sure that I learned about you. I met you through Matt here. And we'll definitely get more into how much I appreciate Matt when we do your episode. But to just meet people like you, man, through this mission and through this path and through this life, and to be able to have records of your work, dude, and to be able to check like your first songs and see what you're doing now and watch your growth, man. For people listening and who may not know about these two people and what they're doing with music and everything else that we will discuss in the next 2 episodes, watch out for them. They are so expressive. They're so productive. So unique. Bing! Like whether or not they blow.
I got excited, bro.
They blow up right now or in the near future. Without a doubt, it will take place, and I will love watching every moment. And I've loved watching every moment up until now. It's so freaking cool.
You've been a big part, man, of the inspiration, you know what I mean? Because Matt is my go-to producer. You know what I mean? I do all my music stuff with Matt. I mean, 99% of it. You know, I like to write all my own lyrics and everything, but as far as the producing side, it's really cool syncing up with Matt, you know what I mean? Because we might have done a yoga session, and then we're already just in this flow state, you know what I mean? And it's like stuff I've incorporated from you unlocking the peaceful warrior and putting that into the music, putting that into the artistry, not talking about bad stuff like, disrespecting women, doing bad drugs, doing things that limit your growth, doing things that bring you trouble. Literally, we're trying to go in the other direction. We're trying to freaking catalog the alchemy and how fun it is, and everybody can get in this alchemy. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like whatever you said. I appreciate the comment, like blowing up or whatever. I want success for everybody. But yeah, it's so crazy that we've all synced up for this higher purpose, this higher mission of respecting yourself and respecting others and wanting everybody to get it popping with their creativity. You know what I mean? No matter what it is.
Woo! 100%. And it is really cool to be able to see like a similar vision with the both of you, but from completely different lenses and completely different perspectives that come from entirely different backgrounds. And that, to me, like that shows a pure, like, dope amount of like wisdom and alignment, and something that we may be doing something right, something worth our time if people around us kind of see, the mission for the good of all as well, the greater good for people, mankind, really, planet Earth, everything, man. And you guys embody that, and that's like why I appreciate you both driving here to even be doing this moment. Like, that's so fucking cool. Not everybody's gonna be doing that.
It's easy to put things off, you know what I mean? But yeah, consistency is something that we're working on in our daily lives. Total consciousness, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm doing like things that are, helping me get by and stuff, but it's like we really want to live, a full life and be out here and enjoy and like spread the love, you know what I mean? No matter what it is, whether you're punching the bag, you know what I mean? You're a freaking racquetball player, like, get it. Let's go.
You spread the love more and better than anybody I know, Steven. Like, that's without a doubt, man.
He just dropped an achievement unlock on me. You are the best love spreader.
That's hilarious.
Do I get a heart on my third eye? It's tat? Should I get like a little pink heart, dude? Would that be too far? Honestly.
You're approaching too far. I don't know if you've crossed the border yet.
But
so I love that you said, man, that Kundalini has given you a surge of energy that is now transferred and transcribed itself into other parts of your life, dude. And I can see it right now, and literally how you behave and how you approach the people around you. It may be out there and hyper to some, but it's also not disrespectful.
It's my communication. It's my way of really connecting with people.
You do an excellent job, dude. And it was really cool working with you at the workshop because we balance each other out very well.
Oh my God. I would just look over. I'd be like, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna trust Aaron. And I would just go. I would look over. And you're just like looking out, just surveying the cosmic goods. And you're like, I know what we're doing next. It was just like, yes, we had things set, but for the most part, I think the flow state it's like, yes, you knew when to say. It was interesting. It was just like, we didn't have, all right, you're going to say, all right, guys, you're doing great, or whatever it is, little things, but they just seem to just perfectly bounce off.
You're 100% right. There was a very natural alignment and trust. And I knew I trusted you and your work and your background and your approach. And that was our first time working with each other. And like, people didn't even know. Like, that's how fluid it went. Cool, man.
Sync up, complete. Dude, Boise, Idaho, how far is that from Austin, from San Antonio area?
Minimum 2 flights. So there's no straight shot here.
So drive, it's like 20
I
plus
think
hours.
It's 30 something to
here.
Yeah. It's a couple. Do you want, I know I can feel your energy. Do you want a freestyle or anything? Like, I know you kind of.
I wanted to spit my opening stuff. Mantras on my fingers is the first track of the EP. And you had said earlier, do the one about avocados in my bun. There's a part in the song where I say avocados in my bun, but so it goes. No distractions, back to the action. Got your credit score, looking worried, put you in a Matrix faction. We don't play that. Talking to my boy out in North Cali like we got a Kundalini rally.
That's so damn
Just
good.
It just gets it popping. You know what
It's
I mean?
so it's so fluid from you, dude.
Thanks, man.
Do you want to play any of it?
Honestly, I
You
wanted
can
to play
pick
the
it up.
last track off the EP,
Okay,
Neighborhood Shaman.
let's do it.
That's the name of the EP, name of the track. We get Xian, the engineer.
That's mine. While that's
Yep.
getting figured out, what was it just a very natural switch for you from Kundalini? What brought you into Kundalini, and then what brought you into music? How did that transition kind of take place?
Oh my God. I was 20 years old, and Matt had been taking a class. I think it was Ashtanga or Vinyasa or something like that in his community college. So that was kind of the start. Maybe, yeah, I think it was right there around the time we just turned 20. And it was like, okay, like I'm having a lot of fun in the class. You know what I mean? He wasn't serious. He had just started it. And I was like, let's try some YouTube stuff. So we had done maybe just a few 1-hour lessons, just like out of nowhere, you know, look up yoga for beginners or whatever. But then he found a Kundalini yoga video, and the breath of fire is what got us hooked. Like we started doing the breath of fire technique, which helps you tune up the body. That technique is where you're pumping the navel, inhaling through the nose or the mouth, but it's very quick. So it's, and you're really, really just driving out toxins from the body and awakening the Kundalini from the base of the spine. But that's what sold it. And so that was really the start of it. And it's been a love affair ever since.
As most things are pretty natural. It's cool to hear kind of how people get introduced to anything, really. Because sometimes, like, we always know somewhere that energy means something to us. Or it's like we're intrigued, like we see a conversation, it's like it's a planted seed. And then years later, we come across a video and it's like, oh, fuck, like, I've been intrigued by this concept for a while now. It's interesting how the world or the universe reveals our path to us, it feels like. And the more that we pay attention, the more that we're able to see. But
what we're actually valuing? Like what's right now?
Can I tell the story?
yeah, go for it.
Xian on the story time.
Yo, what up, everyone?
Welcome to the mic.
Yo, my name's Matt. So, just listening to y'all's story just now, it was making me remember, how Kundalini came up and how we did have this first experience. So I just wanted to like kind of share that story. Essentially, I was on some kind of like a quest to understand something that had happened to me, because I had had like a pretty powerful psychedelic experience that I wasn't really ready for, as it happens with a lot of people. I'm not unique in that, but I was, like searching far and wide for symptoms that I was experiencing from days and weeks after this psychedelic experience, because it had shook me, in a pretty powerful way. And I keep coming across in my search like this term Kundalini. And so I'm like, okay, Kundalini, and I'm reading about the lineage and the history and the mythology of Kundalini, and I'm saying, wow, this is hitting the nail on the head, like with what I'm experiencing, a Kundalini awakening, like for sure. So I was pretty naive about mystical anything, yoga even. I did take a yoga class in college, and I did notice it made me feel good in my body, but I had never had like a pretty powerful spiritual out-of-body experience. But eventually I do find, hey, Kundalini, the energy, is cultivated by Kundalini yoga. So I start researching it on YouTube, and I find a set. I think it was like a 20-minute set. I was familiar with yoga, so I knew how to follow someone leading yoga. So I do it, and by the end of the set, I'm back in the mystical state, you know? I'm like fully like, okay, it just charged it up. It totally just like brought it back in a very powerful way. And it's a good way. It's hard to describe the state, but it's a state of interconnectedness to everything. You see it clearly with your vision, with your eyes. And that's why they call it the third eye vision or whatever, because it's almost like if you don't see it, you're blind to it. And at times, you know, even still, like day to day, there are moments of like blindness to like the interconnectedness of everyone and the connection of love as the most powerful thing. But in these heightened states, it becomes very clear. So I then said, dude, I tried this thing on YouTube. We got to try it. He was already a super fitness guy. So like he was the one that introduced me to running and working out and like, you know, building muscle and like, you know, thinking about nutrition and this type of thing. So I remember vividly like being in your, right outside of your garage. Your brother was watching and kind of weirded out by the moves because we're doing like these these moves and stuff. And he's kind of like, these guys are crazy, you know? But, yeah, we felt charged up after that. And we said, dude, we have to do this more often. And then we come to find that there are yoga studios in San Antonio and in Austin that teach this, you know? Because when I first learned about it, it felt very much like some ancient secret that like no one knows about, you know, like that's what I felt like I was discovering, because I had never felt anything like this energy I was experiencing. I had no idea that it existed or that humans were even wired to receive an experience like that. So yeah, we that's kind of like the origin story of us finding Kundalini together, like mutually. It was kind of happening at the same time. You know what I mean?
Will you keep the mic for a second? What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just about to bring up this big point. Stop buying into the whole guru thing. You know what I mean? There's a big sour taste in a lot of people's mouth because they think it's you're worshiping this person in the white robes and stuff. Everybody's their own guru. Everybody's going to find stuff that works for them. Everybody can modify a yoga set. There should not be this seriousness in the yoga space. And I feel like that kind of ruins it for a lot of people. They go to a studio maybe, and one time or two times, it's just way too serious. And it's like, if you're not doing as the instructor, you're wrong. And it's like, yo, we're trying to really just also, you know, side note, flush that out in a sense. You know what I mean? It's beyond that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it goes into the environment and the approach and everything for sure. I mean, any coach, any instructor is able, whether or not they realize it, to influence the people in the room. And that's why, like, when you come across a great coach and like a true maestro at what they do, they guide you in a very effortless way. It's like they literally lead you with their presence, but their presence is so pure and strong that you follow like in a very willing manner. And then you have to watch out for the people with good intentions and the people with poor intentions that can still occupy a space like that. But that's a different story for sure.
A different tale.
How long have you been doing the Kundalini yoga, Matt?
I'd say it's been about 8 years since that initial experience. And, you know, after that, it was like I could not be researching what had happened to me. It took over everything that I thought about, you know. I was like, I feel completely different as a human. So I was on this very passionate soul quest type research thing. I remember going to Barnes and Nobles, going to like the mystical part and just sitting there and reading books for free because this is before I was being able to afford things. And just, yeah, like taking pictures even of books of like diagrams of Kundalini or meditations and taking them home and like studying them and, you know, doing as much research on YouTube and just listening to testimonies of other people who have experienced this, like relating to them. And then, you know, slowly finding Kundalini yoga related content in which there is a very articulated science. So they have answers, for whatever you have to ask. So that technology is out there.
What you described is such a powerful first experience, completely sober. And to light up the body in that aspect that I've experienced with the both of you through like rotation, flexion, and breathing and holding your arms in certain positions, like, what? It's fucking crazy. It's truly on a different level. And like, it really helped show me, I said this to you in Boise, like, you really feel and understand energy. And it's incredible what you've both kind of developed with each other. And like, your growth, it produces the growth of the people around you, and vice versa. Like, growth, it's a very not even contagious thing, but a very like naturally uplifting response to nature. And yeah, man, it's what I've experienced with you both, and I've only done a handful of sessions now, and it charges your body up in a way that is so hard to reach with other motives, other modalities.
Yeah, everybody has their thing, but like, I swear on my life, like, this is the fastest route to activating your infinite nature. That's why I came up with infinity presence. I know we're all connected with infinity. It is all within, But yeah, just the charge, man. The charge, you have to stay charged up.
What are some, I'm probably going to ask you both the same question when I talk with you, but what are some of the fundamental aspects to Kundalini that you work on and that you kind of help show people?
Fundamentals, definitely control of the navel center is a really big one. With the breath of fire technique, you're pumping the navel rapidly. And so if you're tight in that area or you're not doing it correctly, you'll actually cause yourself to hyperventilate and do the opposite of what you want. So I think that one of the biggest things, especially when I do the live stream on the Sheath Unaware Facebook page every other Sunday, people will comment and it's like, guys, like, you're not listening or something. If you keep breathing like that, you're going to hyperventilate, or I feel like a kid, like I'm going to hyperventilate. It's like, that's not what we're going for. So you want the navel to absolutely unlock and go out as you inhale. As just like a fundamental, I would say, just really for any yoga, any martial arts, any sports, full breath, let it out, and then let it come back in. So you're just very loose, like a belly dancer, so I would say that for sure is a fundamental. And the other one is the tall spine. You want to keep the spine very tall so the energy can uncoil as best that you can. And a third one, I mentioned this earlier, is knowing when to modify stuff so you don't get hurt. Huge one. If it's supposed as, oh my God, I cannot move my hips this way, don't do it. Just do the best that you can. Feel it out, but keep the breath strong. You know what I mean? Stay present. Stay motivated. You know what I mean?
I love that you said unlock the navel section, because we as people, especially Westerners, are very locked in the body. So to unlock that, it's very freeing, it's very opening. And how many people do we know that suck in the gut?
Oh
and
my God.
they just to appear a certain way.
I'm guilty in my past life, dude.
I'm guilty.
I'm a suck in. I'm like, I can't breathe inside. You're there she is. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You idiot. Bro, this hot. Here she comes, dude. Do I look hot? It's like, you're gonna pass out, dude, and fall in the street. Like, come on, dude. Bro.
It's crazy the drastic difference in seeking external approval to actually embodying your own person, and how that changes how you breathe, how you stand in front of women, how you approach your friends. You actually build a different person because you're working on different things. And I think a lot of it comes down to a lot of people either don't know how to work on that kind of stuff or don't believe in it to be true.
Yeah, the whole body language thing. I mean, younger, I'd hear about it. My dad would be like, would give me crap about like you're, sitting right. You know what I mean? Like improve your posture. He could always tell if my energy was off. You know what I mean? If I had my head down or whatever, or I had my hands in my pockets. That's kind of like the classic one is the hands in the pockets. I'm kind of just not looking up, but I'm kind of just glazed over. I'm not here really, but I'm here, because I have to be. Nobody wants to do that, dude. Just I'm here because I have to be a good worker. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that.
Yeah, we're pushed into it, and we're kind of forced into it, even naturally pushed into it. I catch myself even now that you say hands in the freaking pockets. I was doing that like last week, and like we're all trying to improve at stuff like that, but that's kind of it's the beauty in being reminded of things like that. It's like, fuck, you're right. That is actually a sign of poor body language.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to be around people like you guys.
Yeah.
Because, like I've said, maybe even in this episode, I can't remember, but like you bring your own lens, you bring your own perspective, you bring your own vocabulary of describing the same thing that we're experiencing.
I like that.
And because you guys use different words, that means they're out of my normal range of function. Therefore, you say a word, it's like, oh, that's also involved in this same formula, the same method. Yeah. And that's why I value people who can literally show me something in every discussion. And that's every person if you pay attention, if you're open enough, if you're willing to kind of, read between the lines, really.
Absolutely.
So how would you, question for you, or flipping the table, turning the table. How do you, it's inevitable that sometimes we're talking to people that we don't have a lot of to relate to them with, right? What do you do? How do you think about opening that heart, opening that empathy for that person that has an issue? They want to tell you an issue. They want your feedback on the issue, but you really can't relate to the issue. How would you go about that?
So opening the heart, would that be for them or from me?
I mean, both.
Okay. I feel like when we are able to understand ourselves and our genetic makeup and our emotions and the sensations in our body more and more, deeper and deeper, things that I've experienced through deep meditations and deep plant medicine work, that's how we're able to relate to people who are going through something that we may never experience. And it's not that we're going to feel the same exact thing that they're feeling, because maybe we can't even comprehend what that is. But to be able to embody and feel and know what depression feels like, or what sadness feels like, and be like, fuck, like these pieces to this puzzle align this way for this person. Like imagine, truly embody, how would that make me feel? And don't attach to it, but be aware that like now you're able to attune to their frequency a little bit better. Each frequency offers completely different vocabulary and word choice. If I'm in a blissful state, I'm going to say very different words than if I'm angry. So how can you now approach this person more so where they are? Because we can only approach people where they are, where we are, is, through that mindful platform. And then to help or coach somebody from there, it literally is, man, like we can only learn so much for each other, and so I'm a huge fan of Bruce Lee in this aspect where he said he doesn't teach anybody anything. He provides them with a platform to teach themselves. And that's even before I knew that was Bruce Lee, that kind of always resonated with that concept. And that's how we approach Xpand. Like, I don't teach anybody anything. We provide an environment for you to safely coach yourself through something. And so, it comes down to like, we're all people, man. Like we're all when you get deep into the internal world, it's pretty hard to think we're different. And you realize how similar we actually are as people. We all deal with emotions, we all deal with stress, we all deal with worry or some form of stress, whether that's insecurity or bills or whatever. It's all being felt in a similar energy, you know? It does. And to be able to unlock those parts or move that energy around or free it through kind of what you guys are doing, it's very different.
I like that. Very good. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm gonna hand it back to Steven. But yeah, the level of empathy, right, and also just using your imagination to if you have a good imagination and you're not relating to a mood that someone's in, use your imagination to say, well, what bothers you? What puts you in a mood like that? Maybe that happened to them. Empathize with that. You know what I mean? It happens to everybody. Sometimes like you have to level with people through, using your imagination, using your intelligent emotion, using empathy, So that's what I would say.
Imagination, man. I would have never used that word. And now because once again, that vocabulary, now you're helping me see it in a more broad spectrum. Now I have more words to choose to describe what that might be. That's how we evolve drastically with our own comprehension on things. That's why probably why cross-culture pollination is so freaking important, because then you can see all of these different ways and people can describe happiness. But yeah, man, so thank you guys for coming where you're coming from and coming from where you're coming from. Imagination's huge. Yeah,
we all want to share our imagination and help it come to life again and again. And I'm excited, man, for you to hear this track, Neighborhood Shaman, off the EP. Definitely use my imagination for this. Definitely bringing in the good vibes. And
how long is it?
Let's rock it.
It's 3 minutes.
Word. Want to play the first minute?
Sure.
Cool. Let's give everybody a little.
If we're gonna let's just listen to mantras on my fingers because it's 1 minute.
Okay.
May as well finish the song, right?
That works. Okay.
All right, we're gonna give you guys the first song off the EP. It's called Mantras on My Fingers. Yeah, boy. Antelope. Oregon. No distractions. Back to the action. Got your credit score. Looking worried. Put you in a matrix faction. We don't play that. Talking to my boy out in North Cali like we got a Kundalini rally come through. Do some pranayama with the crew. Yeah, you know how we do. With that big Buddha smoke and a brew. Woo! Feeling so loose, but I gotta stay present. Give you that ultimate present. Give you that good present state in the moment. Meditation, get your fountain floating. Get your fountain floating on cloud 9, never boasting. Mantras on my fingers, I don't need a gun. I just keep it fun. Yeah, I just keep it fun. Mantras in my fingers, I just keep it fun. I don't ever need a gun. Avocados in my bun. Avocados in my bun. Woo! Yeah, we having fun. Avocados in my bun, and we still having fun, and we still having fun. That was fun.
So amazing. Honestly, will you play the other one? If you're gonna do that, please
Let's
play the
go.
full 3-minute song. That is incredible.
This last one's called Neighborhood Shaman. I recently discovered I was the neighborhood shaman in my community. There's a lot of us. I'm not the only one. Zaren's a neighborhood shaman. Xian's a neighborhood shaman. We're all healers. We're all entertainers. Neighborhood shaman. Top shelf cushion. Sometimes ramen. Neighborhood shaman. Custom vegan plate. Chilling and rolling. I'm feeling so holy. Center me now. It keeps me around. I just ran 2 miles with the little homie. Yeah. I just ran 2 miles with the little homie. Yeah. Then he said he wanted to run 5. That really blew my mind. I'm the neighborhood shaman. Top kush and sometimes some ramen, but mostly a custom vegan plate. Driving through the hills, all-wheel drive. Neighborhood shaman. Woo! Top shelf cushion, sometimes ramen. Neighborhood shaman. Custom vegan plate. Yeah, chilling and rolling. I'm feeling so holy. Center me now. It keeps me around. Stay ahead of time. Infinity is my cape. I got that switch up place. Exit the race. It's a marathon. We don't really have to debate. Activate your pace. Activate your pace. Neighborhood shaman. Top shelf cushion, sometimes ramen. Neighborhood shaman. Custom vegan plate. Yeah. Chilling and rolling. I'm feeling so holy. Center me now. It keeps me around. Oh, shaman.
Woo! Gang, gang. You are incredible. That is so amazing.
That was
Holy
fun.
crap.
It was kind of hard sitting down, but it was fun.
You had free range, man. You could have danced around the room as long as the cord would have allowed it.
Oh, that was fun.
I don't know any other way to end the episode, to be completely honest. Where can
It's
people...
kind of hard to end.
It's hard to end
Just
it after
segue
that.
in. I was eating some kale.
Where can people find you?
They can find me on Facebook at Steven Samadhi. Samadhi is SAMADHI. Same with SoundCloud, Instagram, and YouTube.
Infinity Presents? No?
Oh, man. You just have to bring up my other life now,
I had
dude.
to bring it up, dude.
Dude, they were only supposed to know about Samadhi, dude. I'm just kidding. Also, for the Kundalini yoga work, check me out. Infinity Presence on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
We will attach the links. We're going to be much better at that with every guest of ours. We're going to help promote you guys. You guys are legit. It is a freaking pleasure, bro.
Love you, man. Thank
Love
you
you
so
too,
much,
man.
sir.
Thank you. You're a freaking stud. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
get to you in about 2 minutes. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.